Hello, my dears. Here we are at lesson 39. My holiness, that means my divinity, is my salvation. Now, you could possibly by this time be feeling quite unsettled doing these lessons, which is completely understandable and also the entire point. Because again, this course says everything you believe is incorrect, and the foundation upon which you're living your life is false, does not bring you peace, does not allow you to feel loved, and in the worldly sense to be prosperous and abundant and all those things that come along with this change of mind. So these lessons are little by little taking out a piece of your false, unstable foundation and inserting a new one. Well, while this exchange process is going on, it can feel very weird, or you can feel frightened, or you can feel confused, or you can feel like I'm not even really myself. All of those are understandable. They're to be expected, not to worry. The foundation that you're building is finally one that's true and stable, and out of which you will live, obviously, a much better life. So this one just jumps right out at us and says, if guilt is hell, what is its opposite? Well, that's quite a way to start. And then it says, this is not a mind game. We're not trying to throw something out to trick you, to get you to make the wrong answer or something like that. It just says you're just too confused and you've overlooked the obvious. So we're going to continue to state the obvious. If guilt is hell, what is its opposite? How come you don't just answer this immediately? And then it says something very big. Do you believe guilt is hell? If we did, we wouldn't need this course, because no one practices what we already know and have incorporated. And then it repeats what it's mentioned in a number of lessons before, that our divinity, our being an expression of love, is the salvation of the world and of ours. Because clearly, one cannot give what one does not have. So the holiness that I am, that allows everything else to be healed, also heals me. So the recognition that this is about my salvation from my unloving thoughts and from my confusion is what this is all about. And it continues on these very big statements to say, my divinity, my innocence, your divinity, your innocence is the answer to every question that was ever asked, now or in the future, because our divinity means guilt isn't possible. That alone represents the salvation of the world, because now everyone has been driven crazy by the notion and the conviction that we and everything else are basically guilty. So this is, along with the others, a very big statement. It asks for 4 practice periods today of 5 minutes apiece, and it asks us to search out our unloving thoughts. Remember, there's only 2 categories of thoughts, love and fear fear is merely the absence of love. So fear in and of itself does not have any properties, just like darkness is simply the absence of light. When you turn on the light, the darkness disappears. It doesn't have a vote. In the same way, once fear is you might say, seen and dealt with appropriately, it's gone. It doesn't stand up and say, I'm not leaving whether you like it or not. So look for all of your unloving thoughts, and it gives us a list: uneasiness, depression, anger, fear, worry, attack, insecurity, and whatever. And then it says what I just said, that they are unloving and therefore fearful, and it is from these unloving thoughts that we need to be saved. So it asks us for the usual searching and reminds us that if we don't do this, we're just sunk. It uses a very strong word. It says it is imperative for our healing and our salvation that we take the thoughts that we now address in a fearful way and change our minds about them. So the form is, my unloving thoughts about my mother-in-law are keeping me in hell, which means I'm continuing to feel guilty, I'm continuing to feel punished. And my holiness, the divinity in me, the innocence in me, when I claim that, is my salvation. I am freed from the effects of unloving thoughts when I start to see everything lovingly. It should be obvious. Then it asks us to state at the end, if guilt is hell, what is the opposite? And then it asks, of course, the usual short applications in between, or if you become terribly upset about something, it says, if temptations arise, a particularly helpful form of the idea is my holiness, that means my divinity, my being part of an expression of God, is my salvation from this. Now, our temptations will be temptations to be upset, temptations to be judgmental, temptations to say, you know what, this isn't my imagination. Those fill in the blank. We'll use political figures, whatever perspective you may have, are truly the problem. It's like, well, we have to see all of those differently. All righty. Have a marvelous day. Practice, practice. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.